similar triangles here, and using proportions to figure out ratios. I want to take a look at this one. Two triangles are similar. The lengths of the sides of the smaller triangle are 3, 5, and 6. The length of the longest side of the larger triangle is 18. What is the perimeter of the larger triangle? So this is another perimeter question. You had one yesterday. So my suggestion is draw this out. And this is straight off of our regions, right? So we got 3, 5, and 6, right? And then our larger triangle is, we don't know what these sides are, but we do know the longest side. And if they are similar, then the longest side in the big triangle should match up with the longest side in the small triangle, and they should correspond to each other. So 18 should correspond to 6 here. All right, well, we're going to want to find out these other sides, so let's just call them A and B. A and B. And I know that if I set up a proportion, 3 over 6, right, piece of the small, other piece of the small, and then corresponding parts in the big, should be the same thing as A over 18, right? We're going to cross multiply, and we get 6A is equal to 3 times 18, which is 54. Divide both sides by 6. And we're left with A is equal to 9. So this is 9. We get rid of that. This is 9. And then B, we're going to do the same thing. We can just do, you can do any type of proportion as long as you're consistent with what you pick. So let's do it a different way this time. Let's go 5 over B, right? So now I'm picking corresponding sides over each other is equal to a corresponding side from the small triangle over its corresponding side in the big triangle, 6 over 18. And we're going to cross multiply again. We get 6 times B, we get 5 times 18. So 5 times 18 gives us 90 is equal to 90 is equal to 6B, divide by 6 from both sides, and B ends up being equal to 15. So now we're just going to add all these up. 9 plus 15 plus 18 is equal to 42. So the perimeter is equal to 42. However, I do want to show you that there is another way to do this. Okay, so the perimeter is definitely equal to 42. Let's take a look at this triangle. What's the perimeter here? Well, 3 plus 5 is 8, plus 6 is 14, right? So the perimeter here is 14. Well, what kind of ratio did we have before? Let's take a look. 3 over 9, right, if we're going from here to there, or 9 over 3 is really equal to a ratio of what? Well, a ratio of 3. Okay, well, what's this? Well, 3 times 3 gave you 9, 3 times 5 gave you 15, 3 times 6 gave you 18. So what about the perimeter? Would that be the same thing? Well, let's see. What's 3 times 14? Well, 3 times 14 is equal to 42. So you didn't actually have to go and find all of those sides. You could have found the perimeter here and just found whatever the scale factor was and multiplied it by the perimeter, and it would have still given you 42. All right, so we got 42 both ways. All right, so this answer is definitely 42. And for classwork, you have a couple more questions. This is the typical type of question that the Regents likes to ask with not numbers, but rather sides. And then sometimes like this as well. And these are, again, with that parallel line thing. This one you have to make sure you've orientated the right way. And that's pretty much it. And then make sure we're studying for our quiz on Wednesday. All right, this is Mr. Pinto. Thanks for tuning in.